Hey guys, and welcome back to Morgs Menu. So I posted on my Instagram about 2 weeks ago, which if you don't already follow me, I'll post that somewhere on the screen, but I posted on my Instagram that my work was going to be doing a bake-off this week, and the only criteria that they gave as far as what to do for the baked goods was that it had to have pumpkin in the ingredients. So basically I went online, I did a bunch of Pinterest research, finding a bunch of different pumpkin ingredients for a bunch of yummy treats, and narrowed it down to two of my favorites that I thought would be different and things I hadn't done before. So the two options were a pumpkin coffee cake with cream cheese filling and then a pumpkin cheesecake swirled brownie. And it was really close. I'll post the results here, but it ended up that the brownies won, so that's what I'm going to be making today. I'm a little nervous for this recipe because I've actually never made homemade brownies or homemade cheesecake, and then on top of those things I'm adding pumpkin into the mix, so I'm a little nervous as far as the taste and how they're gonna look, but hopefully it'll go well. And without further ado, let's get this recipe started. Here's everything we're going to need for this recipe. So we'll start over here on the left. We have this Neufchâtel, I'm butchering that word, cheese. It's basically just kind of a low-fat cream cheese that I had from a previous recipe. Some butter, canned pumpkin, eggs, pumpkin pie spice, salt, vanilla extract, cocoa, flour, granulated sugar, cooking spray, and some baking soda. So we're just going to go ahead and preheat our oven to 350 degrees and then take our butter and go ahead and get that melted in the microwave. You want to add in your sugar, pumpkin, eggs, and vanilla extract. You want to make sure you use actual pure pumpkin rather than pumpkin pie filling for this as well. And then you're just going to get that all mixed and combined together. Now for your dry ingredients, we're going to take another bowl and add in the cocoa, flour, baking soda, and salt. I just used whole wheat flour. It turned out just fine, but you can use all-purpose flour. Whatever you have will probably be perfectly fine for this. Then you just want to whisk all of that together to make sure it is combined. So now you're going to take your dry ingredients and add them to your wet. So I basically just did half at first, mix it all around with my hand mixer until everything seemed combined, and then added in the second half and kept mixing until it was nice and smooth. This is obviously going to be the brownie batter portion of the recipe. So then you want to take a pan size 9 by 13, spray it down with some cooking spray, and then take the brownie batter and go ahead and add it into the pan, spreading it out into a nice even layer. This is going to be the base of the brownies. Once it's nice and smooth, go ahead and set it to the side, and we're going to work on our cream cheese. So go ahead and take your cream cheese. Now I heated this up in the microwave to soften it. However, as you'll see, the texture wasn't great on this part, so I wouldn't recommend that. I would just let it sit out and get kind of room temperature on its own rather than microwaving it. But nonetheless, you just want to add in your sugar, eggs, and vanilla to this, and your pumpkin pie spice. Then go ahead and mix that together. As you can see, it was a little bit runny. I think that was due to me heating it up in the microwave, so I definitely not recommend doing that if I were to do it again. And now you want to separate out about a third of the mixture into a bowl. Now this bowl was actually way too small, so I had to move it to a different size bowl because you're going to then combine in a third cup of the canned pumpkin into one side, so you have 2/3 of it as just the normal cheesecake color, and then a third of it as the pumpkin orange coloring of the brownies. And as you can see, this is way too runny. It kind of ran all over the place. You want to take it and kind of create lines running across the brownie batter, and it just ran everywhere in this case. So the white part didn't do very great, but then when you take the kind of thicker part that had the pumpkin combined in, it was nice and thick. As you can see, it was really easy to create kind of straight lines with that. So if the white part was the same,
you know, these would have turned out a little bit prettier, but it tastes good nonetheless. So then you're just gonna take either a knife or a toothpick and just kind of create lines across to create that swirl thing. And as you can see, the orange part does really good because it's really thick and the white is just kind of there, but it's cheesecake nonetheless. So you just kind of go back and perfect it, and here's what it will look like before it goes into the oven. So you're going to throw this in your oven for about 35 to 40 minutes. I started with 30 minutes because it gave me a 30 to 40 minute window on the recipe, but 30 minutes was not enough. Basically what I did is at 30 minutes, I pulled it out to check it with a toothpick. And if you see that there's still kind of some runniness and different things on that comes out on the toothpick, then you know it's not done. You can also touch the top and notice as well, but this is what it was after about 37 minutes of baking. You can see it was just starting to crack on top and get a little bit brown on the edges, so I knew that meant it was probably done. So then you want to take it and just let it cool on the counter, and then once it's cool, put it in your refrigerator for at least 2 hours before you try and cut it. That way everything is nice and set. So 2 hours later, I went ahead and started to cut this. I tried with a little serving tool, but it didn't work, so I just need a regular knife. So basically just cut this as best I could without kind of messing up too many of the swirls. And then I divvied it out. One container I put the pretty ones that I was going to take for the contest, and the other container I just put the ones that weren't as pretty but that we were going to keep at home for ourselves to eat. So here's how they turned out. Now these are the pretty ones that I pulled out. Most of them were from the middle, but as you can see, they do have that nice swirl because of the orange layer. So some of the brownie came through, and overall they looked really, really good. All right, now that everything is cut, I'm going to do a taste test. See how they turned out. Oh, this one's falling apart. This one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. Chocolate's very chocolate.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god, it's falling apart. It tastes really good though.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm doing the Trader Joe's taste test again. I don't get a strong pumpkin flavor. But still good. You can definitely tell that there's like the cheesecake flavor on top.
Yeah.
So good. See how it does tomorrow. Alright guys, so it's officially the next day post the bake off at work, and I got 3rd place. So not too bad. Obviously I would have loved to get first, but I think overall the judges of the competition seemed like they picked the baked goods that had the most pumpkin flavor, and obviously with these being brownies, I think the chocolate flavor took over a lot of the pumpkin, so that probably played a factor into why I didn't get first, but you know, whatever, I'll take 3rd. So anyway, this recipe turned out really, really good. I'll definitely be making it again. It was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. Overall, thumbs up on the recipe. I really enjoyed it, and I'm really excited that I have some leftovers to eat for the next couple days. So as always, leave me recommendations for some recipes down below. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the videos that I post on Wednesdays and Sundays. Thanks again for watching Morgs Menu, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.